The Bible talks a lot about marriage. Good marriages, bad marriages, and marriages that should never have happened. Like Solomon's Herculean effort of leaving and cleaving with 700 women. But what relevance do biblical marriages have for our discussion of homosexuality? As expected, there are two very different views. Many non-affirming Christians consider the ubiquitous heterosexual marriages in the Bible to be clear evidence that homosexual marriages are ruled out. After all, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and that about settles it. This is not only bad humor, but it's also terrible logic. Yes, it's true, God created a man and woman in the garden, and they got married and had kids. But it doesn't logically follow that since the first human marriage was between man and woman, that therefore all other marriages of all time must be between a man and woman. I like the Dodgers, but this doesn't rule out the possibility that I also like the Giants, unless I explicitly say I don't like the Giants. I actually can't stand the Giants, but you know this because I just said it. You shouldn't deduce it from the fact that I'm a Dodgers fan. Likewise, if I said I was married to Christine, most of you would assume that she is my only wife. But saying that I'm married to Christine doesn't in itself rule out the possibility that I'm also married to Bertha, Gertrude, and Hilda. Improbable, but not impossible. The other view, held by affirming Christians, agrees that opposite-sex marriages in the Bible don't in themselves rule out homosexual marriages. Some go on to argue that there was no such thing as homosexual marriages in the ancient world. The same-sex behavior that existed had to do with power rape, prostitution, or men who had sex with boys. Therefore, the reason the Bible only talks about heterosexual marriages is because homosexual marriages weren't a live option back then. But since they are an option now, our situation is much different than what's going on in the biblical world. Heterosexual marriages in the Bible, therefore, do not nullify the possibility of God-sanctioned, consensual, monogamous, loving gay marriages today. So here's the question. Does the presence of opposite-sex marriages in the Bible contribute anything to the discussion of homosexuality?